Then of course, Mortal Kombat. Duh.
Everyone played that.
I
I
was
have
I was a
played.
worker at the arcade on that for Mortal Kombat 2.
I
I was a worker.
I have played every Mortal Kombat except the last one,
The
Yep,
including
third
the
me
one.
too.
spin-offs with like Sub-Zero
Yep,
the other dude, Jax,
and
I think.
the special forces. What was it called?
Yep, yep.
It was
It was called
something.
Special Forces or something.
Was it? I thought that might be.
Yeah,
But
yeah. And
yeah,
then there
I
was
played them
the
all too.
Sub-Zero solo spin-off. Yeah, that was a weird fucking game. But yeah, no, I played every single Mortal Kombat except for the most recent one. I
One.
even played 11.
Yeah.
You know,
Last one I legitimately played was 3. Then I stopped. But I have kept I did a couple years ago when 11 reached its zenith and they put out the final DLC, which brought back Kerry Taki, I can never say his name, as Shang Tsung for the DLC.
yeah.
They brought him back.
Kerry Hiroyuki Tagawa.
Yuri, yeah, I can never say his name. Can never say
It's
his name.
it's a hyphen. It's a lot of
Yeah.
syllables.
Well,
Yes, Ariel,
he's an icon. He's an
I did play DC Mortal Kombat. I have a copy of it still.
Mm.
I actually
Oh,
enjoyed that
jeez.
game quite a bit, and it's the
What's
reason
wrong
that
with
I ended
you?
up picking up the Injustice games, which were both made by the same studio. I also enjoyed playing those games, even if the stories were shit.
Hey,
Hated
sometimes
that.
gameplay's fine. But
Dude, let me play as Dark Side in Injustice 2. Like, come on.
Injustice is fine. It's the Mortal Kombat versus DC or DC versus Mortal Kombat. That was a
Fun,
shit
and I
ass
was
game.
like
I hated
22.
it. I did
Probably
like
hot.
3 fights and I went, fuck this shit. Throw that shit
well,
away.
I didn't play any of that, but as I said, I kept up. Eventually, I did do I this is a point in time. I think it was during COVID actually, where I had nothing to watch. So I was scrolling through YouTube, and somebody had put up basically I guess it was 12, 15 hours worth of combined cutscenes from everything Mortal Kombat from basically the past decade.
Yeah.
And I watched the entire story over a 2 or 3 day period. And I got
Most of
and I,
those are from the most recent games too, because like 11 had like a 5-hour fucking storyline, and just in cutscenes. The actual campaign took probably 14 hours.
yeah, I think I watched 8, 9, 10, and 11 all together. I just
Mhm.
they were like broken down in videos, 3-4 hour videos a pop. And I know the entire story. Hell, it gave me some idea. Honestly, it was actually productive because it gave me a couple of ideas for my own stuff to implement some ideas. It actually sparks for a particular type of character. So it was actually pretty productive, and it was interesting the way they fucked everything up, the way they screwed
Yeah.
everything up. It was crazy. But so I was caught up, and so when MK1 came out last year, I was well aware of how messed up Fire God Liu Kang is and
Yeah,
all that shit. I was very well
it's
aware.
11 didn't just. I mean, obviously they covered up the titties in that game pretty
Yes,
badly.
all the
They I mean
girls
they
got pictures
started
of
doing that in 10 in like Mortal Kombat X, but
yeah.
it got really bad in 11. But that wasn't even the most egregious thing in it. It was that the story was so fucking stupid.
They kept retconning themselves. That was the problem. Every game
Yeah.
started retconning the previous events. And listen, I do like the fact that in the end, Liu Kang won it all because to me, he was always the ultimate hero, not Johnny Cage. But how they got there, fighting this goddess of time, whatever her name was, it was so
Sandy
good.
Vagina.
Is that if that's what you call
Uh,
it? Sure.
Chronica, I think her name is.
Chronica, that's it.
Yeah.
Chronica. Yeah, Chronica. It was just so out there, but I was along for the ride this far, catching up. I finished it out. And then one just they took all the ideas and went for the worst way possible, and they ugified the girls even more in one.
Mhm.
And what bugged me is how they I really did like the Sonya Johnny Cage arc and all that. I thought it was really good, and then they just wiped it all out.
Yeah, well, they wiped out the entire history of every game
Yeah,
that came before it and said like,
yeah.
oh, it's a do-over, and now Liu Kang is like the ultimate supreme being in the universe,
Until
even
Shang
though he's
Tsung
been
tries to beat
undead
him.
for like 4 fucking games in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was weirdly entertaining, but but I cannot forgive how they fucked it all up.
No, it's I hated the story in 11. Some of the combat was actually really cool in it. They did some neat things with that I really enjoyed. But some of the aesthetics were sort of jacked up. Like I said, they covered up all the girls and stuff, which is, I mean, okay, whatever. But why are you still got Johnny Cage out there in short shorts and no fucking top when he's like
With
50?
Johnny
You know,
across the chest.
I mean, he's an old man at this point. They make a point of telling you that he's an old man multiple times in the story, not only with his kid making fun of him, but also his ex, Sonya Blade, making fun of him, and he makes fun of himself. They completely cuck Johnny Cage in that game.
Mhm.
You know, but oh, it's fine for him to have his tits out.
And after they made him, and after they gave him a really good hero arc in the previous game,
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so I don't know.
it doesn't make sense.
Honestly, the only reason I bought it is because fucking Spawn was in it. And the Spawn gameplay is fantastic. You know?
So it's a shame. I don't know what I just to take it down that direction. Since we're there, I don't know what they do with the Mortal Kombat franchise because Mortal Kombat MK1 was lambasted by everybody. Nobody likes this
Yeah.
game.
I think that was the first MK that actually didn't do as well as all the every MK since the first one has made bank. You know, I mean, it was a reliable franchise. You know, but I honestly I think the story of 11 fucked them so hard on this that it wouldn't have mattered what they really did with MK1. They were gonna see a drop in sales, a pretty significant one.
I don't think you're wrong. I
Yeah,
don't think
well,
you're wrong.
it's just like most these IPs. Once they step into the landmine, there's nothing really they can do. What are they going to do? Retcon it again? Oh, that time thing that happened didn't happen. We're back to the original timeline. You know, like they can't. They've gone down this rabbit hole. So now they need to play with the girl they brought, dance with the girl they brought to the party, and I just don't think people are into it. They don't like the characters, the way they went with them, the direction they went with their stories. I do. I think they really hurt themselves.
Mhm.
I don't know how they're going to bring it back.
I don't know either. Well, I mean, just we'll stay with Mortal Kombat and we'll just shift gears a little bit. I think they have a problem with the new Mortal Kombat movie coming out. I don't think there's any excitement for it at all. I mean, it's on my list this year for when I made my box office predictions at the beginning of the year. I believe I said that I didn't say it was going to be a bomb, but I said that it's going to depend on how much the Mortal Kombat fan base embraces it. And if the Mortal Kombat fan base doesn't embrace MK2, Mortal Kombat 2, hang on, stupid thing, it's gonna bomb because the
Yeah,
bad word of mouth will happen because they're gonna release this. I believe they're releasing it in the movies, not like the other way around during COVID where it got the streaming release.
yeah.
Covered up.
So I'm probably one of the only people in our circle who actually liked that movie.
I didn't
I
hate it.
enjoyed it.
I didn't really like it.
Right. Well, I'm not blind to its issues or its problems or anything. I mean, the main character develops literal plot armor as a actual superpower.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, it has
he
issues,
shouldn't have even
but in
been
terms of
there.
just
It should have been Scorpion the whole goddamn time.
again, Adam, I'm with you on this. I'm fully aware and
know.
cognizant of all of the fucking things that are wrong with this movie. That said, what they did give me was enough for me to enjoy myself. I've seen it a couple of times now, and I still come to that conclusion, particularly the Scorpion and Sub-Zero bits at the beginning and end, which are fucking incredible. But
now,
you know, I mean, but they're
yeah.
So as somebody who really liked that movie, but is really not happy with the direction the games are taking, I'm probably still going to see this movie. I think you're going to see a fair number.
I'm
going
gonna
to
see
like
it too.
But you're probably, yeah, but you're probably right. There will probably be less viewership for this, probably in large part on account of that. And then there were also a number of people who were very unhappy with that movie too.
Yeah, and the thing is this: the dude who played Sub-Zero, that dude's a badass. That dude was in that Warrior show that was on Stars. He was one of the guys in that thing.
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yeah.
Not
That dude's
Hiroyuki. It's something Sanada. Yeah.
that dude's a badass. That dude is a serious fighting badass, and I really liked him in that show with his combat. So I respect that he was in this movie. The dude who played Scorpion, he's a fucking legend.
That's what I was thinking of. Not the
yeah.
other guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the other guy. But the other guy. Both those dudes are awesome. But everybody else in the movie, the dude that had been playing Liu Kang, that's not Liu Kang. They
He
cucked
was pretty
Goro.
bland.
They cucked Goro hard in it. They used him as a tool for a second. Once again, Goro cucked. They killed Kung Lao immediately essentially. I mean, it's just.
They let him waste Natara right out of the gate, who shouldn't have even been there yet.
Yeah, true.
I hated the freaking how Jack's arms came about.
Yeah, that
That
was weird.
was retarded.
Little baby thing arms that grow.
Yeah, little baby robot arms, and somehow magically they become big, powerful robot arms.
Like, oh my gosh, I suddenly need my little fucking prosthetics that these fucking monks in the middle of nowhere somehow know how to make to lift this big ass rock. Boom, they're bigger now because I wished for it real hard.
Elon Musk needs to hire those monks.
Right.
The whole Kano thing was weird. Just the way they executed Kano. I mean, not his betrayal, but the whole use of Kano was strange in the movie.
I think Kano was one of the few parts that actually really worked in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. Because dude's a dick. He's only tagging along because he thinks something's in it for him. Or because he thinks they'll kill him if he doesn't. Because obviously Sonya, not his friend, and he is a notorious criminal. But and the second he sees a better offer, he switches sides. But I think Kano really worked in that movie, but I don't think that he was one of the better parts. There was some really dumb stuff in it.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like that his eye was magical. I want cyborg.
Yeah, it should have been cyborg. It should have been cybernetic. Yeah, you're right.
Now, I think we've lost Ariel on this conversation. Ariel, this is Mortal Kombat that came out 2-3 years ago. 2022 during COVID. This is not MK1 or this is not the MK movie that came out back in the day. Mortal Kombat with Carrie hyphenated names. I'm going to say as Shang Tsung, and
or Annihilation with Brian. What's his name from the X-Files? Is Shao Kahn?
Yeah. So or Christopher Lambert as Raiden in the first one.
Yeah. I loved Christopher Lambert as Raiden. He obviously that's not the characters written in the games, but Jesus, that guy's entertaining.
Oh yeah, well he cheesed it up and it was funny. But
they should have had a line in the like an Easter egg where he's all like, "There can be only one."
Then Annihilation, which was just god awful. I remember I made a friend go see that with me in high school, and he's like, "Why did you make me go see this? This was terrible. I hate you for this." And for years, he never let me forget that.
And then they did a movie in between that was like kind of like I don't even know. I didn't watch it, but there was a movie in between the original set and then the newest one.
Then there was that. Then there was a cartoon on USA Network that followed up Annihilation. Sort of. It was sort of the same.
There was an animated movie too.
Yeah, there was
a show, and then there's been several animated movies. There's been several. Point is, there's a lot. The one we're talking about.
A live action show too. There was a live action show that followed Kung Lao and two other fighters. Yeah.
Really?
And it was
But what we're talking about, Ariel, is the one from a couple of years ago, which came out in COVID. It's released on stream. I reviewed it. I think there's a review somewhere deep in the channel. There might be. I think the review is somewhere deep inside the channel. You can find it. I might have reviewed it, or maybe it was before I started the channel. I don't remember. I know I watched it. I just can't remember if I was sitting over there or if the desk was over here. I just don't remember when I did it. But for I read it, but I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it as much as Samuel likes it. Because they had its moments. I'm trying to be fair. I'm
not a
trying to be
lot of people
fair.
did
Yeah.
like. Sure,
Yeah.
sure, and
But
not a lot of people did like it as much as I did,
mean,
and I obviously, like I said, I am not blind to the flaws.
oh yeah, I know, and I'm not saying you aren't. No, well, I think, but the biggest problem to me is the dude who replaced Johnny Cage, the Scorpion's ancestor, who just should not have
Cole,
been
yeah,
there. Cole,
the plot
it,
armor guy, yeah.
it's like you shouldn't exist. This Cole shouldn't be there, and I hope they kill him immediately in the second one because you've got Carl Urban coming in as actual Johnny Cage. Now I love Carl Urban, but he's too old to be Johnny Cage.
I mean, he's not too old to be current game Johnny Cage.
Yeah, but this
Johnny
is
Cage is pushing 60.
yeah, but this is supposed to be early to mid 20s asshole, super asshole Johnny Cage, like hot
Yeah.
shot, Johnny across his chest. That's who this is.
Yeah, Carl's gonna have to get fucking cut for that too.
Yeah. So it's this movie will live or die by word of mouth. I think if
I'd
the
agree,
nerds like it, it's going to do okay. Not going to do gangbusters. It's going to do okay. And I got to see what they're doing with the story because what they did with this last one was so strange. I mean, the dude who was playing Raiden I couldn't understand a word he said in this first last one. I couldn't understand a word that dude said, not at all. And the dude who played Shang Tsung was so boring,
bland. He was bland as fuck. Yeah.
So Shang Tsung's going to come back. Raiden's come back. I believe they're putting in Shao Kahn because I believe the tournament's moving to Outworld for the second one.
Logically, I think it has to, especially since Shang Tsung and who his surviving cronies got banished to Outworld. Immediately after the events of that. So yeah, there are only a handful of characters that I really like what they did with that in it, but I really like what they did with them. Like I loved Kano in that movie. I loved Sub-Zero. I think he was fucking fantastic in that movie, especially since that's not current Sub-Zero. That's Bi-Han. That's the one who
that's the original.
Cybot,
that's the original.
And he is such an evil dick, and he's
awesome.
Yeah.
Bi-Han was evil son of a bitch. Yeah. No question.
I really liked Sonata's Scorpion quite a bit. I thought he was fucking incredible as well.
I do appreciate that they got him to get over here. I do appreciate.
Yeah, they did. They did everything right with Scorpion except have him in the main part of the movie.
Have him in the movie, not just teasing for the last couple minutes, because that's what everybody wanted. Fucking Scorpion.
Yeah, Ariel, if you go watch this movie, watch the first 7 minutes of it because it's the best part of the fucking movie besides the climax fight with Scorpion. It's really, really good, and then it gets kind of peters off from there a little bit. But and I really liked Melina in this too, quite a bit. Problem is in a sequel, like what do I got to look forward to? I mean, obviously there's Johnny Cage, but Melina's dead. Scorpion's dead. Bi-Han is dead. I mean, those two could come back in theory.
Well, Scorpion's undead. He can definitely. Well, I think they're going to have. I think the rumors are they're going to turn. I heard a rumor they're going to turn Bi-Han into Noob Saibot.
Mm-hmm. I hope they do. I hope they bring that guy back because he was great as one of the more villainous characters in the movie. And then who was the other one I was thinking of today? I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. He's part of the Black Dragon. He runs really fucking fast, and his face is all fucked up. He's got the hook swords.
Cabal.
Cabal. Yeah, Cabal. I liked what they did with Cabal in it, too. I thought he was pretty cool, too, but fucking killed him, too. So,
Well, so I wasn't there, but I was in the audience watching when Devil did the Get Ranked for the Mortal Kombat casters. There's a lot of people they can pull in. But they killed off already some of the more popular ones.
All of the best and most entertaining fucking roles in the first movie, are dead, and only 2 of them really, could probably come back. But
Scorpion can always come back. He's undead.
They have to bring Quan Chi in to get Noob Saibot.
Yeah, and I hope they don't go down the whole Revenant route though. That would be really annoying.
Yeah, and how are they going to do Kuai Liang? Right, if they go with Sub-Zero 2. Right. Technically, that's Bihan's brother, but Bihan in this is like 800 fucking years old.
Yes. Yes. There's a lot of plot problems. There's definitely a lot of plot problems.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So anyway,
Listen, I'm
I
going
will
to give
watch
it a chance. I'm going to give it a chance because I the night the one I watched it only once. I can admit that I only watched it once, but I was entertained for my evening when I watched it, but not enough that I would go back and watch it. I might rewatch it before I watch the next one just to make sure I'm all lined up so I can have proper commentary. But
Mhm.
we'll wait and see. If the nerds love it, like I said, this thing will do decent. It's not going to make blockbuster money, but it might just get past break even.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.